Hello, y'all. I'm here with the Mr. Abe Lincoln himself. Abe, would you continue?
Thank you kindly, Mrs. Palin. Sarah and I are here to teach you a little bit about our American history. And what a wonderful history we have in this great country. Isn't that right, Sarah?
You're darn tootin' it is Mr. Abe. May I call you Mr. Abe?
Sure, I suppose that'd be just fine. Anyway, Sarah and I would like to talk about some of the greatest moments in history, such as the Emancipation Proclamation.
You betcha. Way back when them there uppity niggers just wouldn't stand for fiery hoses no more, and proclaimed that they wouldn't take no more of that enunciatin'.
So anyway, we also wanted to talk about how the national anthem was brought into existence.
Yeehaw. When good old George Washington told crotchety old Benjamin Franklin that he was a turkey, and just then they both looked up and saw a bald eagle getting bombed out of the air by anti-aircraft bullets and bombs, blown to smithereens and big red blood streaks while fireworks were ablazing. That sure was an inspirational moment. I'm pretty sure that's when George, Teddy, Andrew, and Ulysses S. Abraham decided they'd forever remember the incident by engraving each other's faces in that mountain in North Dakota.
Well, I don't know what you're referencing, but let's move on. There were also some horrible things that happened in our history that we should all be ashamed of, but at the same time, learn from. One example is the Trail of Tears.
Oh, I love that band. Shout, shout, let it all out. These are the things we can move about. Come on. I'm talking to you. Come on. Great band. Trail of Tears.
I'm not sure what you were talking about at all anymore. So, again, let's move on. There were also very hard times that America has had to bounce back from. Right, Sarah?
Oh my stars, yes. Like the Great Depression. That was a hard time all over the place. People didn't have nothing but soup and bread to eat. It was horrible. So horrible that someone had to go to President Marie Antoinette and tell her that we were running out of bread to eat, so she said, let them eat soup, too. So we said, oh yeah, we totally forgot about soup. So we had soup and bread, but we were all depressed and such because nobody had invented Xanax yet, so we were all like, I wish someone would invent the darn Xanax already.
Yeah. I guess. Who the hell resurrected me for this anyway? Never mind. I'm sorry. Moving on. I think I'm going to require an ale before this is over.
Hey there, Mr. Lincoln. Let's talk about more recent matters of history. How about that, ha? Like when good old George W. Bush passed the Grand Ole Patriot Act, enabling the federal government to peep in on phone calls, emails, and such to make sure nobody is getting involved in any misdoings or anti-American thingies. Ain't America grand?
What? He did what? That's preposterous. So, yeah. America is great. Somehow our great history, the trials and tribulations, have befallen offspring such as yourself. Again, I'm sorry. I don't know what's come over me. It must be because I've been dead since 1865. Moving on. This grand country has had numerous exciting expeditions in its early years as well. Like the travels of Lewis and Clark. Sarah? Would you like to, say a few words about Lewis and Clark?
Ooh, you're darn tootin' I do.
I was afraid of that.
Ah geez, oh Pete. Lois and Clark are the greatest couple this country has ever seen. They stuck together through thick and thin, good times and bad. No matter what. Especially when Sacagawea had to help Clark defeat Broniak and Pizarro. Only then was Lois freed from the clutches of Lex Luthor. You betcha by golly.
Dear God, dare I continue? Yeah. I remember that episode. You idiot. Sorry, again. I think it's the whole back from the dead thing again. Well, we've also gone through some horrible attacks. Be it the attacks on 9/11, or even Pearl Harbor. Isn't that right? Sarah?
Well, convoluted, you're dang blasted right. We got attacked by the Japanese at Pearl Harbor, and nobody was expecting it at all, during World War II. That's right. Mr. Ben Affleck tried to make out with his girlfriend, but then Matt Damon wanted to make out with her, and she was all, "Oh, my, I thought you were dead," but he was all, "But I'm not, you should have known with your amazing love powers that I was alive so you wouldn't commit adultery and such," and she was all, "But I'm in love with both of you," and the other guy was like, "We need more guns and shit," and then the bombs fell. Then people screamed for their televisions and magic lights. So then Paul Revere rode through Honolulu screaming, the nips, the goddamn nips are coming. The mother-loving nips are squinty-eyed and whatnot. So everyone put on their jackets so they wouldn't get cold.
The fuck? So, tell me, Sarah, where do you fit into American history again?
Well, Mr. John McCain was the first to notice me. He saw that I tore up the state of Alaska from its cold icy tundra into a happy cold icy tundra. So, then he decided that I'd be a wonderful bosom vice president. So I blew him a dust shot into my mouth, the dust of a conservative stalemate. Yes, those were good times. Then my teenage daughter got pregnant with the new son of God.
What the hell did you just say?
That's my little dumpling. Always having sex with the Lord. She loves Jesus. She loves Jesus so much she'll have his baby.
What in the hell is the matter with you? You are an insane woman, and your children have suffered from your maniacal teachings. I think that it's time for someone to shoot me again. Someone? Shoot me?